Hi, welcome to this Halloween special drawing tutorial. Unlike my other tutorials, this time I will be doing voiceovers for my instructions instead of sharing them on the screen. So the tools you will need for this tutorial include soft or dry pastels or eyeshadows, erasers, color pencils, black pen, correction fluid or white pen, cardboard paper or recycled paper, drawing paper in square shape, and a paper cut or a knife. So for the first step is to place the cardboard paper or wasted paper at the bottom of your drawing paper. You can place it around 1/3 of the drawing paper, so it would be the space for you to draw the lake later on. Then choose the lightest blue among your pastels or eyeshadows and try to draw a circle with your fingers. So what you're drawing would be the blue moon, which is also the main character of this picture. Do you know that this year there's going to be a blue moon on Halloween, and it only occurs once every 19 years, so it's really rare and it really matches with the theme of Halloween. What happens next is quite easy. It should just add darker shades of blue to the center and make circles out of it, but also try to blend it well with the lighter layers. So you keep adding darker and darker blue colors at the center of the moon and try to blend it with the other shades of blue to make it more natural. But at the same time to add shades to it too, so you can create a more 3D effect instead of a very 2D effect. And voila! Your blue full moon is done. It's just that simple. What happens next is the background color. So I would use the lightest yellow as the background first, and then later on I would keep adding darker shades of color to it. First, you just have to add in light yellow and try to avoid getting the yellow onto the blue moon. That's a skill that you have to master. So as you can see, I'm adding a darker layer of yellow right now, and I am adding it at near the edge of the drawing instead of adding it in the middle of the drawing to create a more natural effect. Like, you don't want to make it look like you have darker shade of gray in the very middle of the painting, which looks really awkward. So really, when you add layers, darker layers of colors to your drawing, always start by adding it near the edge of the drawing paper. So it's time to add some orange, because having an orange background is the ultimate goal of this drawing. I've chosen a lighter shade of orange, and once again I'm adding it near the edge of the drawing paper. And for the other layers of orange, it's the same pattern where you just have to add the darker shade near the edge of the drawing and then try to blend. The darker shade of orange you use, the lesser powder you have to add near the edge of the drawing. As you can see, I am only adding the darkest shade of orange on the four corners of the drawing paper instead of adding it to the entire upper part of the drawing. You really don't want the darkest layer to cover the other layers that you've created. You want the fading kind of effect to show off the yellow, the light around the moon. So it's quite important for that. So this is optional. For me, I would add a dark blue at the very corner of the drawing. Very little, you don't want it to spoil the orange, so I just add a little bit just to create a slightly darker, make the fading effect more apparent. it's time to take away the cardboard paper or wasted paper, and we're going to create the lake. For the lake, you can start by using a lighter blue color as the base. For the lake, don't blend it with drawing tiny circles with your fingers, but instead drag your fingers from left to right. Repeat the motion to create a more river kind of effect, because it's a river pattern. So just drag your fingers from left to right instead of drawing tiny circles. And then add a darker blue of color and do the same. Just drag your fingers from left to right to create straight horizontal lines instead of tiny circles. Another way, which I consider as cheating, is by just directly drawing horizontal lines with your darker shade of blue and then blend it with your index finger. That would also work. After you're done with the lake, it's time to draw the lens for the pictures. So for the lens, I would choose a black color pen, and I would draw tiny curved lines and one straight line at the bottom to create tiny little mountains. And the line doesn't have to be really straight. It can be very curvy because lines are very curvy. You can imitate the style I'm drawing right now, the lines I'm drawing right now. If you want it to look more 3D instead of just very 2D, like, you can also add land towards the front of the drawing, as you can see what I'm doing right now. So you just have to draw a curvy line, curvy diagonal line near the very bottom of the drawing. That would make it look very 3D. So it's time to draw the trees, and it's not going to be very difficult. It's like drawing zigzag lines that starts with very broad, very long to very, very tiny and short. You can draw as many trees as you want. You can even create a forest by adding smaller trees at the background once you have drawn the first layer of trees, which is what I'm doing right now. So here, after the first layer of trees, you can see I draw a smaller tree at the back, which is smaller than the first layer, and once you're done, you will feel like, oh, there's a forest right there. Draw the witch. It's a combination of circles and sticks and triangles. Start by a circle, adding a tiny stick for the neck, and then a tiny circle and also a triangle to make the sleeves, and a tinier circle to make the hands. Afterwards, adding a large triangle to make the cape, followed by a triangle to make the trousers, and 2 sticks and 1 circle to create the legs. This is the way to show one is leaning towards the broomsticks. That's the posture that you have to use when you draw that. And afterwards, give that witch a hat by adding 1 straight line and a narrow triangle at the top. And of course, now it comes to the broomstick. The broomstick is going to be easy. You don't have to use your ruler for this once again. Just draw a straight line that doesn't require a ruler, and then The rest is how to create a broomstick. And voila! That easy. You're done with the witch. If you want your witch to carry a cute little pumpkin since it's Halloween, you can use an orange color pen to draw the following. So this is how you create the outlook of a pumpkin. So to add the eyes and also the mouth, it's quite simple. You just have to add in the eyes and a zigzag horizontal line. So it's time to draw the meteor shower that follows this witch as she crashes down into the forest. To create that, you can use a white gel pen or a fluid correction pen. To draw it is to draw diagonal line that starts from the middle of the drawing towards the right top corner of the drawing. And of course, don't forget to add stars to the drawing. To do that is by dotting the white gel pen or the correction fluid on random places of the drawing, especially near the meteor and in the sky, and that will create it. Last thing I would do, which is also optional, is to make the witch glow. I'll do that by adding light yellow pastel on the meteor shower as well as around the witch, as you can see what I'm doing right now. So after making the witch glow, I will once again use my white gel pen on also the correction fluid to add whiteness onto the meteor shower, so it would look like it really glows. It's kind of the way of creating a neon effect. So after adding a few touch-ups like using a white gel pen to create smaller stars, you're basically done with this Halloween special drawing. And I guess that's it for now. Hope you enjoy drawing this.
Once you have finished your drawing, remember to tag me at magic.in.jmw so I can see your work. And of course, remember, if you're watching this on my IGTV, remember to follow my IG. And if you're watching this on YouTube, remember to subscribe. And of course, remember to like and share this video with all your friends and family so they could also draw with you and share the positive messages with them.